What's up, everybody? My name is Diego Reyes. I am here with...
Elias Ramirez. I am the co-founder of the Hispanic Business Network of Galveston County.
Super excited to have you. Super excited to be here. This is a great opportunity. I've been wanting to meet with you guys, with you and your organization for a very, very long time. Big fan. How do they say? Long-time fan, first-time visitor, or something like that.
Yeah, something along those lines.
So tell us a little bit about the Hispanic Business Network.
Yeah, for sure. So at the moment, we are a grassroots organization, just a couple business owners all around Galveston County, just wanting to band together and network with each other, use our resources to share with people that are either coming new to the business field, already have experience in it, and overall just build a community full of business owners here in Galveston County.
That's awesome. Galveston County is a home. For me, it's a home away from home. This is Texas has been a great state. It's blessed me with a beautiful family, a beautiful home, and a beautiful career. I come from a long line of career public servant, and wanting to be an entrepreneur and wanting to be a business owner has been a lifelong dream. And to see this come to fruition as far as Latinos and Hispanics coming together, can you explain to us a little bit about the mission statement or the whole concept of that?
Yeah, for sure. So kind of how I mentioned right now, we're grassroots, but this idea originally came to me about almost a year ago. I was at a conference in Las Vegas with the League of United Latin American Citizens. It was their annual conference, and they were just talking about different ways that we could unify Hispanic and Latinos in our communities. And one void that I see specifically in Galveston County is we don't have a central organization that is predominantly Hispanic or Latino that helps new upcoming business owners, entrepreneurs, and people that are wanting to go in the business realm. And that's where I got a group about 8 or 9 people just came together in one room and said, all right, you know what, we're going to go ahead and launch originally as the Hispanic Business Network and hopefully start establishing a Hispanic Chamber of Commerce for Galveston County. It'll be the second one to exist. There was previously one in the early 70s, but it dissolved. And ever since then, we haven't had a central organization representing Hispanic and Latino businesses in Galveston County.
And how important it is. Well, for me, the way I see it is that if somebody already has a recipe of success and pretty much got there through their hard work and dedication, there's a recipe. And seeking out people that already have that and creating that bond, you know, I think it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's really where our organization comes to heart. We're trying to connect new entrepreneurs with people who have already done the work and are quote-unquote successful, right? But I feel that, I mean, no matter what stage in your life you are in, we're always learning. But you know, you're having these successful Hispanic business leaders wanting to mentor the next generation. And that's really where I see ourselves coming in. Getting people that are recently graduated, either high school, community college, or university, ready, you know, have that entrepreneurial spirit, and they're ready to launch, but they just don't know how. And yes, you do have resources that already exist, but I feel there's a cultural separation, and tying up somebody who has lived like you, spoke the way like you do, and grew up the way that you do, brings that personal connection, and that's a recipe for success in my opinion.
Okay, all right. As far as these board members, they all have their different talents and skill set, and are they using that as part of to make this organization stronger? Can you explain a little bit about this?
Yeah, for sure. And you know, first coming in, the main people, when I approach them and be like, hey, you know, I want to create a chamber of commerce, but in order to start, I need a board of directors. And people would be like, yeah, I'm ready for it. What does it consist of? And that's really where, you know, we're still trying to figure it out. I wouldn't say we have everything perfect down to the T, but you know, that's I think that's what's amazing about this organization, that everything's new and everybody knows that we're kind of all new to this, and it's just place where we can explore and see where we best fit. But right now, we have representation from real estate, healthcare, education, community representation, nonprofits, and workforce development. It's a little bit of everything, and that's really what my goal was: is to set up a board of directors that's involved in a little bit of everything, industry as well. So the main goal for our board of directors is basically our spokespeople. They'll go out into the community, go out to different businesses, different new entrepreneurs that are wanting to get in the realm and be like, hey, we're forming an organization, come to a networking meeting. Let's get you set up with a mentor, or join our newsletter, follow us on social media. If you're having a grand opening, come and let us know about it. That way we can come and share it on our social media. Like I said, we're still relatively new. We're hitting our 1 year, and we're still figuring things out. But I think that's the amazing thing about this. Everybody's new, and we're just trying to fill the void in Hispanic representation in Galveston County.
So as far as wanting to be a member, what do I, if, as a aspiring business member, already I got my paperwork, I got my LLC or a DBA and all that stuff, and I'm ready to. I got my what's it called, people, process, and system, or something like that.
PPS,
yes,
something along those lines.
Something like that. I said people. No, it's people, process, and product. That's what they were. That's what I was. There was a Hispanic entrepreneur on TV that really caught my attention with that. If you find those three things and you got your business and that's your recipe for success. So I got all that. I'm ready to rock and roll. What do I do to join you guys?
Yeah, for sure. So right now we don't have an official quote unquote membership. It's kind of, if you're wanting to come to our networking meetings, come and join us. Network with different Hispanic leaders and business owners in Galveston County. But as far as a formal membership application, that's still in the works. We won't. Well, I guess me. Per se, my thing is, once you start paying into an organization, I want to make sure you get your money's worth. What are you going to get out of the Hispanic Chamber or the Hispanic Business Network? And that's kind of what we're still developing with our current board of directors. And in order to become a member, we do have a Facebook group called the Hispanic Business Network of Galveston County, where you can come and join, share what your business is doing, ask questions on there. People are pretty good about responding. And if you're needing help in a specific area, depending on business loans, coming up with a business plan, finding different resources in Galveston County, that would be the perfect place to ask. We have members such as Amy Reed from the Small Business Development Corporation. We have Kristen Edwards, the Executive Director from the Tech City Economic Development Corporation. Mr. Funk, David Funk from the Dickinson Economic Development Corporation. And these are experts in their field already, respectfully. We would just point them to them and be like, these would be the best point of contacts for wherever you're located.
Yeah, they're like, there's your quarterback, there's your running back, there's your defense, there's, you know what I'm saying, all that stuff. Yeah,
we're more of the hype squad. Right. Yeah, we'll hype you up and we'll push you to the right direction.
Right. I love it. So tell us a little bit of your story, your origin story of getting into this type of business or networking, or just in general, your origin.
For sure. Generally, I'm more of the face of the organization. I was the one that kind of got everybody together in one room and say, all right, this is what we're going to do. With that, people ask me, well, do you own a business? And I tell them, no, unfortunately, I don't. But I feel myself more as a networker, as somebody who comes and represents the community. I grew up first generation. My parents immigrated here in the late 80s, early 90s, and called Texas City their home. My dad worked at the refineries as a welder for forever, and went and worked at the Port of Galveston. Eventually, he did end up retiring. He was scared of going blind, and he started his own landscaping business. And I think that's what led the entrepreneur seed in me. I remember growing up and going to work with him, mowing lawns, and he would pay me with the pocket change that he had in his pocket, and that's what we'll call it a day, right? And then going, my mom was the main one at home, and she would always find different things to sell, whether it be food or little knickknacks or table decorations. She would always find extra income to bring to the home. And I think that was really cool. And they really told me, we came here to pursue the American dream. And that's starting your own business, picking yourself by the bootstraps, and trying the best you can to eventually be successful and be your own business owner. And that's really what I've hold deep in my heart. And now, although I'm not a business owner, I do want to see more Hispanic business owners. You see them pop up and have their little mom and pop shops, but how do we get them into our storefront? How do we connect them with those resources to grow that business, to potentially even have a franchise? And that's really what grew me to create this organization. From my viewpoint, just a lack of representation, of unified representation. We make 25% of Galveston County Hispanic and Latinos, and within the next 25 years, we're expected to exceed 30%. That's 30% of the people in Galveston County. How many of those people can we make into entrepreneurs, small business owners, or even big business owners in itself? There's a big void. We have three main industries in Galveston County. That's hospitality on the island. That's healthcare all throughout Galveston County, an industry. We have the Port of Galveston. We have the refineries in Texas City. And not too far off, we have the Houston refineries and that area with Pasadena, Pearland, Deer Park. And how can we get more people of Hispanic and Latino origin into leadership positions? And I feel like we could grow that with the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. But growing up, here in Texas City was definitely a unique experience. Stayed in Texas City my whole life. Graduated from Texas City High School, then pursued my associate's degree in general studies at the College of the Mainland. And that's relatively where I started my experience in public service. I volunteer a lot. I decided to run for office for College of the Mainland Board of Trustees, and my tagline was a student for students. I love it. It was a brutal campaign, but we knocked on doors, we got the message out. But still, what I do now, it's what I did when I ran back then. It's about community, it's about communication, and it's about building those connections. Right. And unfortunately, I did not make it across the finish line, which is fine. You win some, you lose some. But I never failed to leave my community. I always stayed right here. I ended up graduating College of the Mainland and transferred to the University of Houston Clear Lake, where I recently just graduated with my bachelor's in public service leadership. It's a mix between nonprofit management and public administration. And I just ended my most recent campaign for the Texas City Independent School District Board of Trustees. That one didn't go to fruition either, but I always say third time's the charm, right? Yeah. That's kind of really what got me into the Hispanic Business Network and my life in public service.
That's awesome. I think Abraham Lincoln lost a couple elections before he became president of the United States. So, hey, and what makes you... what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
That's right.
And that's a learning lesson, you know what I mean? So, the way I see it, God has a story for you already, and all those little mini lessons throughout the way is going to make you even a better leader.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A better leader and a much more versed person,
That's true. And what better way to learn than from your losses?
That's right.
So I don't see them as a loss. I see them as a learning opportunity.
Yes.
What way can we improve the next time?
Yes, learning opportunity. That's so awesome. That's a great way to do it. From the job that I had, or the career that I had, a lot of the big events, we usually come back to it and we have like a post-action review. We find out what great things that we did, what good things that we did, and what things that we need to work on. So, and we got better and better, and that's how it's gonna be. With you. So I'm excited for your career, man. And that's a great degree program. as far as it teaching you the theory of all that stuff, huh?
Yeah, yeah. I was already implementing everything. I serve on different committees through municipal. Here in the city of Texas City, I'm the chairman of the Community Development Block Grant. And we actually have a meeting Thursday. And then also on the board of directors for two nonprofits, one based in Chicago and another one based here in Galveston County.
Wow.
But it's just really taking what I got from my academics and implementing it. So creating those that data that we need to implement something, creating those connections and expanding my network. And I mean, it brings that all back to what we're talking about today, and that's the Hispanic Business Network. And ultimately, creating an organization that's here to last, generations to come.
Even after we're way gone, you know. So that's pretty exciting. What advice would you give someone that want to enter into this? Well, let's backtrack a little. So you volunteer. You've been involved in so many types of organization. What do you like to do that's fun? What's and exciting in your life other than, because you need to fill your cup.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
You're always giving a cup, and you're emptying your cup, and you got to find a way to fill that cup. So what is that cup? What do you do to fill that cup so you can continue to serve?
Yeah, for sure. Really, it's just hanging out with friends. Whenever I have my free time. Lately, I mean, this week alone, I have a meeting every day, except for Sunday. So Sundays are like my days to decompress, clean the house, and just hang out with friends. And that's really, I have a really good support group, and they really just tell me, hey, like, we have a saying in Spanish, ¿por qué te agüites? Why do you bum yourself down? And whenever I hear that, I was like, you know what? It's time
That's
to ponerme mis pilas, to put on my batteries, right?
Right.
And we're like, okay, all right, let's re-strategize. Let's refocus. And Sundays are generally my off days. But besides that, it's just on the hustle and on the go. And then at night, when I go to sleep, that's my rest time. But no, I mean, generally, like one day out of the month, and that sounds pretty crazy now that I'm talking about it, spend some time outside, go walk in the park, go to the dike, maybe try to fish. I never catch anything. But, it's the me being outside and not doing stuff that's Hispanic Business Network, volunteer stuff or work-related stuff. Just time dedicated to things that I want to do.
Right, filling your cup.
Yes.
Filling your cup so you can fill others. That was one of the biggest learning lessons that I've learned being a public servant, working in that type of industry, is that I was awesome of giving people my steak and potatoes. I mean, I was, here you go, buddy, giving this and giving that. And then when I got home, all I had was scraps. Scraps for my family, and that was one of the biggest regrets in my life. So please keep that in mind. I'm sorry to go off to this tangent.
No,
but you know what I mean?
Yeah. I need to hear it again, because there are times where I just don't have a break within the week. And I'm just like on the go. And, and really hearing that, it's just like, all right, you know what? It's okay to take a break. We're all human at the end of the day. And I think that's some things that, as movers and changers, we forget. You know what I mean? So.
Right. And another thing, too, that I remember you talking about was, being hard on yourself. You're your worst critic, your worst judgment. So having that network, they'll recognize that and pump you up. So, that's a great thing, too, as far as... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No. And thank you for bringing that up, because basically we've been on a hiatus since February. And, that's just basically like not having meetings, not really being active on social media. And that's just because I was preoccupied with other things. And it's not until I had our network members reach out to me and be like, hey, when are we doing this again? Or, hey, what's the next steps? And even our board members, they are our biggest supporters, and they believe in the same mission as I do, right? And that really got me remotivated. So I took a little bit time to recharge after the campaign, and now we're getting back into the groove of things. And I mean, it's really, we are our worst enemies, and I can really say that for myself, because this whole time I've been beating myself up. I'm letting it go, but it's still up and active. Like we never disappeared for like 4 months, you know. And people are really rooting for the organization, and I'm really excited to see what's going to come of it.
It's like a family, you know, like they all separated, going doing their thing, going to do that. But then when we got that family Sunday gathering or that quinceañera or that boda,
Exactly,
wedding,
yeah.
just like they never left. You know what I'm
Exactly,
saying?
yeah.
So that's awesome. That's awesome. There's anything else you like to talk about, or anything that, or better yet, can you give us some special shout outs as far as who you want to recognize, who are your mentors, or any sponsors that have helped you get to where you at this time?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just a really huge shout out to yourself, Diego, for even bringing us on and being a part of your project. I mean, you have a really amazing setup, and we just can't wait for the stuff that we're able to bring in the future. To our board members, our board of directors, Rosalie Stevenson, she is the CEO of Rose Above Realty, probably one of the biggest real estate agencies in Galveston County that's Hispanic and Latino owned. My co-founder, Mario Garza, he just finished up his associates at the College of the Mainland and started an internship with Higher Up Texas. Our other board members, Mariana Monterrubio, Steven Trigo, Adrian Caraves, Ana Santos, Miss Cynthia Holmes, Contreras, Miss Karina Ruiz, just to name a few. I mean, that have really been our bread and butter, and people that have been helping me lead the organization. One thing that I have always said, and I think it's still true to this day, and it's not my organization, it's not your organization, it's ours, and we make what we want to do, and there's a void that we need to fill, and one day at a time, una lucha a la vez, and from the famous Cesar Chavez, si se puede,
Si se puede, that's right, si se puede. Man, I appreciate you coming to my home. I'm sorry, this little makeshift studio,
No,
this is a
perfectly
dining room
fine.
to whatever, and that's what it is, you know what I mean? Hey, let's do it, let's get there, and let's just get better, you know what I mean? So hopefully this can be something that we can continue on, I appreciate you coming down. I know you're a busy guy. Thank you very much, and any lasting words?
I think one thing that I just want to touch on is we're literally making history here, as the first series, hopefully, for the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And the conversations that we're having, are going to come to fruition in the years to come. So I just really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, and as a representative from the Hispanic Business Network to make this project a reality. So thank you.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you guys for even tuning in, Thank you very much for your time, and let's si se puede, right? So
Un día a la vez.